Hey, how's it going out there today, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Let's talk weekly recap. If you new guys here, subscribe and you'll get the rundown on it. This is an every week thing over here. If I'm not running, I'll tell you I'm not running, but I go over my variable costs. I go over my trips, why I did the trips. I don't talk about my carrier, but I am leased to an 80-20 split refrigerated carrier, and we split pretty much everything 80-20. Most of the time I get detention pay, layover, anything like that a broker wants to pay us, I get that 100%, but everything else we split it. And what else? There's lots of other things. At the end of the video, you'll hear me say this is the money left to do what I have to do with. That's where you'd want to plug in your truck payments, your insurances, your maintenance costs, all your fixed costs would come in at that point. I don't do these to brag. I do these just to inform people in case you want to think about buying a truck and become an owner-operator. This will give you an idea of kind of what you can expect at a good 80-20 split carrier. I do like my carrier a lot. I've been here for a few years now. They treat me good. They got some connections. That's things I would look for. They pay me the money they're supposed to pay me when they're supposed to pay me. That's the keys to a good carrier to me. I don't get caught up on the percentage so much as I do the are they doing the things they say they're going to do when they're going to do them. And in return, I provide the same to them. Now that we got that out of the way, let's run it down. Let's talk about the weekly recap a little bit. My first load out of Minnesota, you guys know I like to go Minnesota out and back. I don't like to mix it up on the way back. I like to come straight back because I want to get home every week. Maybe a day. I don't like to stay out a lot, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I did stay out a lot when the exemption was on in 2020 and 2021. I made a lot of money and I ran hard, and now I can afford to be home more. I paid off my truck. I paid off a bunch of debt at the house, and it paid off. I ran it while the rates were good. That was the key. So, first load, Minnesota. I grabbed that one. One pick, 3 drops in New Jersey. One pick, Minnesota, 3 drops, New Jersey, negative 10 degrees. And that was 41,000 pounds. So it was a heavy load. And I had 40 empty miles on that, 1171 on the loaded, 1211 total miles on that. That load paid $6,600. So that was a good one. I caught a good one out of the house. It's getting a little harder to do here lately, but I'm still plugging away. Sometimes I don't get them as good as I used to, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not getting anything like I used to like last year, but they're still staying okay. Still working the connections. Just trying my dangest to provide the best service possible and not screw anything up, because I know good and well that it comes down to service at this point, because a lot of trucks out there. So that took me out to New Jersey, dropped down to Maryland and grabbed a load. And now I waited a day and a half on this load. Had this load lined up, and it's a new customer, a new facility, and basically they didn't have a product ready. So it was either I could try to find something else, or I could wait a day. And I weighed out my options. I looked at the load board a little bit, and I said, no, I think I'll wait on this load, because this load was literally paying like $600 or $700 more than anything else I could find. And so, I stuck with it. Sometimes you just got to do that. Say I was protesting the spot market by leaving my truck parked. I'll say it that way. That wasn't what I was doing, but that's what I'll say, so I sound tough on YouTube. But anyway, that load was 28 degrees, 8,000 pounds. That was another reason I wanted that load, and that's another reason I stuck with it, because it was 8,000 pounds. And it was coming straight back to Minnesota. Now, when I first pulled up the load board looking for loads out of New Jersey, Maryland area, I was still in New Jersey at that point, because, they had told me this load was going to be delayed by at least a day. I was supposed to be able to pick it up on Thursday. Could not pick it up on Thursday. And mind you, I got unloaded on Wednesday. So really, I waited like 2 days on that load. But it was going straight back to Minnesota. There just was no options back to Minnesota that I could find. Now, I was looking at loads like out of New Jersey, Maryland. I think I was like in southern New Jersey, and I did like a 150 miles, radius, and not a lot of loads out in the ocean, ready to go. Um, the loads, I mean, there was like 2 loads back to Minnesota in that area, and they were not paying worth a darn. Really nothing back to Wisconsin. It was just, it's low freight volumes right now is what's getting us. That was the big key last year. It was we could just throw a rock and hit a load going to where we wanted to go, and it was paying good, and it ain't like that now. It's like you actually got to work for it. You might actually, instead of me going straight back to Minnesota, now I had some options. I could have took a load like out of New Jersey to Pennsylvania, and then Pennsylvania back to Minnesota. But I'm like, by the time I start doing all that, like the key to me, the key to my business is to get back to Minnesota ASAP, because that's where my good paying customers are. That's where my carrier has built the most relationships. That's where we're based out of, and that's where I need to be to get that money. So I waited on that load. I figure, hey, a good 8,000 pound load with a straight shot back to Minnesota where I need to be, versus, pick up a load here, take it over there. Because to me, here's the thing. Anytime they load freight or they unload freight, you have a possibility of damages, and I hate dealing with damages. So the less I can have people in and out of that trailer, the better. It's just a thought I have. But I held on to it. I waited. I had 100 miles dead on. I'm going to call this the week of round numbers, by the way. There's so many round numbers in this week. It's crazy. 100 mile on the dot, 100 miles deadhead on that. And that was a little bit more deadhead than I probably should have had, but I don't go through Baltimore. I like to go around Baltimore. So 1129 on the loaded miles back to Minnesota on that, $3,400 on that load. So it was paying way better than anything I could find out of that area going straight back to Minnesota. So we waited around on it. Now I was going to wait a day, ended up waiting 2 days. It's not the end of the world for me. I tried to get a few things done on the truck while I was waiting. Unfortunately, I didn't make much headway on that. My AC went out. I was trying to get a new compressor put on, but the TA said, hey, yeah, we can get to you in 3 or 4 hours. And I was like, okay. But then I called the Freightliner dealership to get the part, and they said we'd have to have it shipped in because, part shortages and whatnot. So couldn't even get that done while I was out there sitting for a day. So kind of a lost day, but the load paid enough to make it worth the sitting 1 day. 2 days in, we're kind of cutting it close. But anyway, that's the 2 loads for the week, out and back, just like I like to do it. We grossed $10,000 this week. 80% of that's easy math. Like I said, the week of round numbers, $8,000 on that. So 10,000, 80%, 8,000. Let's go over the miles I ran. I ran 2,440 total miles, all in 2,440. 2,300 of that loaded. Here we go with the round numbers again. 140 empty miles, 6% deadhead, so that's always a plus. Not a whole lot of deadhead on that. And then we come over to expenses. Let's go over these variable costs real quick. $1,550 on diesel, man. Diesel is like just killing us out here right now. Try to get your fuel economy better would be my advice. That's always been my advice. I'm never a fan of throwing money out the tailpipe. If you're getting, I seen a stat the other day that said an unaerodynamic truck that you're pushing like 40% of the diesel you burn is to push the truck through the wind. And that blew my mind. So you think of every $5 gallon of gas you buy, what is that, like $2 of that goes to just pushing the truck through the wind? Crazy. It's craziness. So $1,550 on diesel. I recommend the Mudflap app, guys. If you ain't got it, check it out. If you're paying retail, even at mom and pops, you're paying retail, you could probably getting a better deal on Mudflap. Download it. It's free. You can check their network for free. You just download the app. I think the only thing they ask for is your name and your email. I think that's the only thing they ask for. And they're not one of these companies that just spam the heck out of you if you give them your email. So sign up for it, see what it can do for you. It's not at the Pilot, it's not at the TA. There's one TA Express in Wisconsin on there, but that was on Mudflap before it became a TA Express. It used to be the ICO Travel Plaza. Now it's a TA Express. But you're not going to get into those. But honestly, like, who wants to go to the freaking Flying J and get fuel? Where I guarantee you there's a pump down and the line's out to the road. Your time is money, trust me. So that's why I go to these mud flaps, because I pull in, I go in and say, hey, turn on pump 15 with mud flap code, blah, 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 blah. And bam, I'm out there putting fuel in the truck. I run in and grab my receipt from the store. Gone. No sitting in line, no sitting around. And most of these truck stops on there, Road Rangers, Casey's, Sap Brothers, Quick Trip, a lot of, they have showers. If you buy fuel, you get showers. You get free sodas when you buy something there. I know at Quick Trip and Casey's, you get free sodas. You get reward points double because, like, I get Casey, Quick Trip, Sap Brother. I get points for them, and then I get points on the Mudflap app as well. I can't sell it hard enough for you. It's a great app. It's a great design. It works really well. I'm telling you, check it out. All right, so that's the commercials over now. Back to our regularly scheduled program. $15.55 on diesel, $4.33 on reefer. Holy smokes, reefer fuel. Like, that's something you got to keep in mind. If you think, well, look at these reefer rates, they're a little better. Remember, reefer fuel is also $5 a gallon right now. So keep that in mind. You burn a few gallons of reefer, and yeah. So, and most of this I used was on the negative 10 degree load. They loaded some warm product on there, and that thing ran wide open for like 3 days. So that hurt. Normally it wouldn't have been that much, but $66 in def and $326 on tolls. Now, I dodged the majority of it, going 80 out to 476 and coming into New Jersey that way. On the way out, on the way back, picking up in Jessup, you kind of got to eat some toll road on that one. That was where I spent most of my tolls, was coming up through Pennsylvania. And then I went across to Ohio on the toll road, and then Indiana does not get my money. I don't care how late I be. I mean, I ain't going to be late, but I go around Indiana. I just can't do it. It's the roughest toll road I think there ever was. And it's quite expensive too. If you do the per mile rate, it's like 35 cents a mile to take their toll road. I think the Pennsylvania Turnpike is more expensive if you go all the way across, but I'm still not giving Indiana my money. So I dodged some Indiana both ways on it. 326. I looked that up. It was almost $500 if I would have went straight out and straight across the way the GPS told me. Actually, I think it was over 500 because, yeah, it was like 530, I think, if I'd have just went straight out. So you guys that take a lot of toll roads, there's profit in dodging some of the toll roads. Now, like Indiana, to me, Indiana's a gravy one. I like that little trip across Indiana on 20. I like seeing the Amish farms. I like seeing the scenery. I love going that way. And it only adds like 15 minutes to go that way, and you save $58 in 15 minutes of driving. So it's like 4 extra miles. It's I don't want to get everybody over there on 20 causing traffic backups, but dodge that one if you can. $44 in parking. Basically, all 3 of my stops in New Jersey were in the same town, and I had like 2 stops on Thursday and 1 stop on a Friday. I can't remember the exact days. Tuesday. I had 2 stops on Tuesday, 1 stop on Wednesday. So what that did was I had to, I paid to park, and then when I left, the 2 stops I had done on Tuesday, the closest stop was a TA, so I just went ahead and booked in Paulsboro again there. So I ended up staying in Paulsboro for 2 nights that week. Not the worst TA. I give it to him, not the worst TA, but you know, when it's cheaper, the way I look at it, it's sometimes it's cheaper to pay for parking than it is to drive around and look for parking. At $5 a gallon, you know what I mean? Like, well, let's say $4 a gallon, even if you're getting a good discount. But you know, it just is. $13 on cat scale. Can't not cat scale. Come on with it. Can't be getting overweight tickets. 41,000 pound load at the beginning of the week. Boy, they loaded that funny. I had my axles all the way to the front, and that was literally like 33,700. Like, I could not have moved it, you know what I mean? Like, I had that one peg, and that's where that peg had to be. Like, my drive axles had nothing to give, so I had to have all the way up, which I prefer them all the way up with the skirts, because, you know, it tucks the tires kind of in behind the skirts a little bit. I'm pulling a trailer with super singles, and it kind of tucks the tires back in between the in behind the skirts a little bit. That's a bummer when you got to pop that pin to slide them back, but it's okay. It's okay. I deal with it. I got by. So let's bring over my 8,000. Oh, by the way, that's $2,437 in variable expenses. $2,437. That's an expensive week, let me tell you. I was doing really good with the fuel economy on the way back with an 8,000 pound load. Of course, Pennsylvania, you're light, but you're still in the mountains. Once I got around to like Ohio and Indiana, oh my God, I was loving it. I was getting like 9 miles a gallon across there. And then coming across past Chicago, that was the really, really windy week where like the whole country was windy. And it just killed me. I was like straight into a 20-mile-an-hour wind from basically Chicago to Minnesota. I was down to probably like, 7 miles a gallon and straight into that wind. So, and that was running like 62 mile an hour. I was really having to let out of it. So anyway, fuel hurt that week. Like I said, I think they loaded some warm product on me there because my reefer unit screamed at -10. Which normally it does not do. And, a lot of tolls on that run. So an expensive week. $24.37 we fronting on that week. But the money came back. We got $8,000 for the week. My cut minus the $24.37. That leaves me $5,563. And that's left to what I have. That's left to do what I have to do with. 55.63. So I'll get by on it, but I wish I could get some more weeks like this. Honestly, not that much running. It was good rate per mile, but it took a full 7 days. This is a full 7-day week. I earned my money on this one. So it is what it is. We had to set for a day, almost 2 days. So it was hard running out, hard running back, but not the end of the world. I mean, let's face it, 24.40 on a 5-day week really ain't that, that ain't crushing it. It's like 500 miles a day. It's doable. But, my thoughts on the week, this week is one of those things where I really tried to get things done while I was sitting around waiting. Time utilization is very important in business. But it's just hard to utilize the time when nobody can get nothing done. Part shortages. The Freightliner I called the Freightliner. I'd already made plans at the TA to get my air compressor done at the TA. But when I called Freightliner, I said, hey, let's see what Freightliner, can do about putting one on. Freightliner tells me the next appointment we have, and mind you, I'm calling them on like a Wednesday or a Thursday, and they said the next appointment we have we can get you in will probably be next Friday, like 7, 8, 9 days away. And I'm like, for an air compressor, like we're 9 days out for an AC compressor. Excuse me, not an air compressor, an AC compressor. I'm like, that's like 4 bolts. I mean, the majority of the time is vacuuming out the refrigerant. Like, it's the way the Freightliner DD15 is set up, it's literally just a few bolts, and I mean, it's right there. And then the air dryer receiver thing is like mounted right on the radiator there. So it's like 2 bolts. You take it out, you replace the O-rings, you slap a new one on, new compressor, vacuum it, you know, or recharge the system. I don't know. These part shortages and labor shortages are killing us right now. So get what you can get done when you can get it done is my advice. The other thing I noticed, and I've really been working on with this week being out in New Jersey, is my personal spending on the road. You know, I've really been keeping track of that and being harder on it. And let me tell you, these $15 extra value meals, they got to go. They got to go. I mean, I do the numbers on cooking in the truck versus going in and eating, and it's like a third of the cost. I mean, let's say you ate 2 meals a day. 2 meals a day at $15 a piece, truck stop combo meal prices. You're at $30 a day. 30-day month, that's $900 a month just to feed one person. I mean, you know, like, it's craziness. So, personal expenses and personal responsibility, I really thought about it a lot on that week. I've been continuing to work on it. We'll see. I'm trying to, you know, tighten up. Now is the time to tighten up, in my opinion. So, that's kind of my reflection on the week. Thanks everybody for watching. If you made it this far, be sure to hit that like button for me, please. And also, if you're not a subscriber, but you'd like to see more stuff like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I put out as much content as about anybody on YouTube. I mean, Asian Mai, of course, he puts out, you know, 5 videos a day, so he's got me. But I try to put out something every single day, whether it be a recorded video, a short video, or a live stream. We trying it. Most days you get more than one video, but for most days you will get at least one piece of content from me. So if you want to know more about trucking or what I'm up to, just hit that subscribe button, click that bell. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to click on one of these other videos if you want to continue to watch Cash, and thanks. Take care of each other.